All right, testing, good people. Let's go. The reset, preparing for success in the new year. I need to check both my screens to see what's taking place. Let me check my sound, because I didn't do that. Testing. Yes. I'm gonna tell you how this all came about. This wasn't planned. This was not planned, y'all. I'm checking my other computer on the book to ensure that I'm showing up in the right way. I hate that the titles don't be there. I got to do an introduction of myself because this is going to a couple of platforms, and on one platform, most people don't know me on the platform that I'm streaming to. Give me a second while I go ahead and type out this title. It's called The Reset, Preparing for Success in the New Year. If you want to be successful in this 2026, type success in the comment section. Please type success in the comment section for me. If you want help with being successful in the new year, type the word help. Type the word help. As I said before, I'm going to do a very brief introduction of who I am out of respect for people that's watching this on this new platform that I'm streaming to who don't know, and even those who I became Facebook friends in the past week. I've been sending invitations out to individuals intentionally to expand our network. We want to bring value to those in our network and also receive value from those. It's an even exchange of value. Maybe we'll discuss value in this session. This conversation will be for 1 hour. 1 hour, a little bit over. It was supposed to start at 12:30. My apologies. I was getting some tech stuff together so we can flow, have a tremendous flow. Title once again is The Reset, Preparing for Success in the New Year. I'm Mr. Cage, training development specialist, instructional designer, and training manager. My proficiency is in developing curriculum to be facilitated to youth and adults to maximize their full potential in the areas of personal growth and development, which is extremely, extremely important. I'm the co-creator and lead facilitator of an awesome program for middle school and high school kids called Potential, teaching kids to think before they do. SBL for SEL, scenario-based learning for social and emotional learning. Why is that effective? It's a practice session. If we can put our young people in scenarios that are relative to their experience, the probability of them not being impulsive decreases. And if you're not impulsive, ruled by your emotions, you have the tendency to make wiser decisions. You don't make short-term decisions as far as instant gratification. You make long-term decisions. And this is why we do what we do. We do a lot of restorative practices. We have several best practices and methods that we use to aid and assist our young people, again, preteens and teens, in making better long-term decisions. So I work with preteens, teens, young adults, adults from the program design and the business development standpoint. I also work with adults and young people, young adults in the areas of personal growth and development. That is my passion. It is a part of who I am. One piece that I can leave you with before we go into the reset, preparing for success in the new year, is that we teach what we live and we live what we teach. If you're watching this, I want you to type that statement out. We teach what we live and we live what we teach. That is very difficult, y'all, because it removes the room for being a hypocrite or operating in hypocrisy. We don't teach stuff that we haven't achieved. We don't teach stuff that we're not going in a direction to be successful in. Because it's not only the terminology, the education, the academics, but when you receive the fruit, the success from an individual, and my pastor taught me this long ago. He said that when I teach you, it's coming from a place of wisdom. But when you receive it, it's received as information or knowledge. Basically saying, when I teach you, is the outcome is fruit of my labor. You receive it as seed. The question is, how does that seed manifest in the fruit? How does that wisdom that's released and is received as knowledge, how does it turn into wisdom? Right understanding and application. We talk about this a lot in our group, is take heed to what you hear and how you hear it. Those are very important principles that my mentor and teacher laid the foundation for us as a family in 2025. Crucial, crucial, crucial conflict, y'all. Crucial conflict. Let us see what we got going on over here. Thank you, cuz. Anthony Rainey likes the reel of the reset. This is extremely, extremely important as I go into. So what's going to happen is that you're going to see me go into a couple of areas. You're going to see me going to academics. You're going to see me going to education. You're going to see me going to business. You're going to see me going to personal growth and development with these examples. But it's only going to be for an hour. But I'm going to touch on many areas and industries as it relates to the reset. Business owners, if you are a business owner watching this, please type BO. BO. Not body odor, but in BO. Please type this, y'all. Please. This is extremely important. Those who know me personally know that I don't talk without being intentional. I don't get on Facebook Lives or YouTube without something to say. Again, my mentor, my pastor, my pops taught us long ago. Some people want to say something and some people have something to say. And as I connect with what he shared, the people that have, or the people that want to say something, those are the people who don't listen because they want to be heard rather than listen. Some people want to be heard rather than listen. Business owners, please do not start this new year with the same mentality and the same habits. We all have to assess what we have done, and we'll find out what we have not done. And then we have to fill in the gaps and take a new approach. If you haven't done an assessment concerning your business, it it's extremely, I'm gonna adjust this little camera a little bit. It's extremely important that you make assessments or make an assessment and evaluate what is being done before you move forward. The difficult part about that, from my professional opinion, is that my assumption is that we don't have anything to measure it against. So check it out. If you need an assessment tool, do me a great favor and put AT in the comment section. AT in the comment section. If you're a small business owner and you need to assess and evaluate your business and you haven't yet, put AT in the comment section. Excuse me. So we got AT in the comment section. There was something else that I said in the comment section as far as, I think it was help. If you want to grow from a personal growth and development standpoint and you need assistance, type help in the comment section. And then if you need an assessment, you need a tool to assess your business, type AT in the comment section. These are all important aspects. And let me share some with you, because in this season, I'm being very real. I'm not necessarily trying to, I always consider people's feelings when I make statements, but I'm not trying to coddle people at this point. It's time for us to come up. We got to get away from watering what we say down out of consideration of how people feel, because sometimes a person's going to be offended whatever you say, and no matter how you say it. I get that statement because I truly believe that we don't have any assessment tools moving forward. And if we choose to go that route, we're going to be stuck. I say that to say this, that I'm not doing a live and giving you tools or soliciting your feedback to give you tools for business purposes primarily. We all want to do business because we in it to service and generate income, but my intention is not to lure you in primarily because I want your business. Primarily, I want everybody to maximize their full potential, but you can't maximize your full potential alone. Impossible. Impossible to maximize your full potential alone. It's impossible because we're going to have a biased perspective on who we are and what we do. And we need people outside of us to encourage us, uplift us, acknowledge us, but also tell us you need to think about doing it differently in that area. That is honor and respect. And for us, it is a place of humility. I'm adjusting this camera again because I don't like how it's looking. Let's see what we got over here. So there's a lot being said so far. I'm tremendously thankful for the opportunity. And this is our first live of the year. All right. Shout out to Sis Ebony, praying for moms as well. We 13 minutes into it. Let's talk about this reset. Let's talk about this reset. As I read from the summary and synopsis of this session, by the end of the session, participants will leave with a personalized plan and a set of actionable insights that can be immediately applied to enhance their overall success in the new year. Number one, self-reflection. We'll engage in a guided self-reflection exercise to identify personal strengths, weaknesses, and areas of growth in preparation for the new year. Goal setting. We'll learn how to formulate clear and achievable personal and professional goals by utilizing 7 pivotal questions designed to drive focus and intention. Number 3, strategic planning. We'll develop actionable strategies to implement goals, ensuring that we are equipped to tackle challenges and seize opportunities. Excuse me. Excuse me. To tackle challenges and seize opportunities as they arise in the upcoming year. Keyword arise. Can you type that? Can you type that for me? Arise, arise, arise. Let me look what's going on this screen. Okay, we all good. And then mindset shift. The workshop will foster a positive and resilient mindset, encouraging participants to embrace change and view setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth. I asked you to type a rise in the comment section. I asked you to type that because problems are going to arise in this new year. The question is why? Why are problems going to arise? Because we are being provoked to do things differently. If we if we are being provoked to do things differently as far as our actions, it means that we have to think differently. We have to think differently, y'all. In order for us to have different results, we're going to have to think differently. And changing your thinking is not as easy as some of us believe because the thinking that we have has been embedded in us for a insurmountable, significant amount of time. It's not as easy as we suppose. It takes God, grit, integrity, consistency, transparency. It takes a whole bunch of attributes in order for our thinking to change. But the first and foremost antidote and source will be God. For us to get to a place that we desire to go, which for many of us is a place that we never been, we're gonna have to do some uncomfortable things. We're gonna have to lose our reputation. I'm speaking from my own experience. In the current year, the date today is January the 6th. There are things in my life that I have to do immensely different in order to get the result. And we're going to talk about motivation and why as we go into this reset. We at a real good pace. We are at a tremendously good pace. I'm going to give you an opportunity to engage to see what type of comments or questions that you may have. And then we'll move on. Let's see who else is on the live. The unfortunate part about this is that, and this is me assuming, many of us may not watch this or pay attention to it because it's not, we don't, we don't feel with our emotions or believe that we need it because we have what our family will call a false balance. And some of my brothers and myself were at a restaurant talking about this before we go into the reset is from a societal standpoint, we deem leaders as people who have high notoriety or are successful in the eyes of man. So if you got a professional athlete, male or female, that person is automatically deemed successful, and they are to a degree, but we deem them as leaders. And that's unfortunate because, and I'm gonna leave you with this statement, I won't give you a lot of elaboration on it, but this is what I would say. Leaders are born to be made into leaders. Every person on the face of the planet is a leader in some form of capacity. What stops them from manifesting into leadership is they avoid a process. They avoid a process of maturity because we've already deemed you as a leader because you have a God-given gift or you have a talent or ability, innate ability or experience, or you sound professional, you have a PhD, you must be a leader. No, you might just be educated. But the question is, what system are you educated according to? Think about that. Again, I'm not pulling punches because these are conversations that need to be had, and these are things that need to be said. I'm seeing too many times from celebrities specifically, these people, male or female, are on a podcast and we make a statement such as this. We make a statement and then we say, not to offend anybody. I'm not saying, no, we need to get away from that. Say what you're going to say. Be true to your heart. We don't want to, well, I don't want to assume, but there are factors as to why we kind of clean up the stuff that we say. But this is what I'm looking for out of people. I'm looking for authenticity and realness. I'm not looking for you to, for lack of better words, placate me. The reset, man. Let's go. Let's kick it into gear. So we doing well. Thank y'all for being involved in this. It's gonna benefit all of us long term. If it benefits you individually and myself individually, it will benefit our community. The reset. The reset. This was created around the COVID time. So COVID was around 2020, 2023. I think I created this in 2020. I was doing some work with an organization, and my responsibility as a director from a training and development standpoint was to equip our professionals and our partners to service clients. This had to be created on the back end of one of the years or on the front end of a new year. But I think it was probably, knowing me, it was probably on the back end because I like to continue to reset throughout the year. But if it's going to be a big reset, then I would rather help people go in the direction of a larger reset before we go into the new year. So this is when this was created. And it's still relevant for today. Legacy, 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 legacy. This is my godson's son. Zaylen at the time was 2 months. And that's amazing. He was only on earth for 2 months. This is my motivation externally. Externally meaning that's my motivation outside of me. You got to have external motivations because God uses external motivators to motivate us internally and eternally. And I'll give some context to external motivation, internal motivation, eternal motivation, which I got from my mentor, which he got it from his mentor. It's an amazing concept. My motivation for getting into education and training had nothing to do with what I wanted to do. It had nothing to do with what I wanted to do. It had everything to do with the people that I was supposed to help. I was created and designed to help a specific group of people, a target population or a target market, as some will refer to. When I discovered that target market or population and began to service them, I discovered that in order to service them, I had to service people who were servicing them. I was supposed to service young people. In order to service them, I had to service teachers. I had to service parents. I had to service coaches. There were other markets connected to that one market. But the primary motivation was people like that young man. Legacy. Legacy. Let me give you a definition of legacy. Let me give you a definition of legacy. And if you got your own definition, feel free to throw it in the comments section. Remember, this is the reset. This is the reset. The reset means that we have to go through the process to reset our mindset. How does that happen? Contemplation, meditation, assessing how the previous year went, or how the previous season went. What went well? What didn't go well? Why didn't it go well? Other than us blaming people. Legacy definition. The long-lasting impact of particular events, actions, etc., that took place in the past or of a person's life. I'm looking at the etymology of the word. The word legacy comes from Latin roots stemming from legatus, ambassador, envoy. And it means to a gift by will, and the latter, any lasting inheritance, reputation, or impact passed from one generation to the next. You may not know this. I'm gonna tell you, we're not on the face of the planet for us. We're on the face of the planet, especially when you begin to have children, or for me, when you hit the 40s. Man, when did I get to Job Corps? Like when I hit 31, my life ended because I got the assignment around that time and it had nothing to do with me or what I wanted to do. When you begin to have children, in a practical sense, the inheritance, better known as the legacy, is passed to the generation to prepare the next generation. The inheritance is not always tangible, has physical touch or presence, real estate, other properties, money, whatever. Many times it's intangible. Many times it's the lifestyle, the mindset, the attributes, the characteristics, the behavior patterns that we pass along without knowing. And some of those behavior patterns and lifestyles is destructive and counterproductive to the direction that our kids are supposed to be going. The reset, it is not a New Year's resolution thing. This is a legacy thing. A new year without a new you is the same year with a different number. I repeat, I have been trumpeting this statement for at least 3 to 4 years now. A new year without a new you is the same year with a different number. The best example that I can give you is a person, and I'll give you a transparency moment concerning myself, is I came out of an environment that had some dysfunctions in it, as we all did, but it had dysfunctions, whereas the dysfunctions produced relationships that ended prematurely. We call it in the psychological circles cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, in the simplest term, is when you have a cognition or idea. This is how this is supposed to go when I connect with this young lady. I'm using my own life example. There's a series of events that take place that contradict that cognition, which we see as conflict. Sidebar, conflict is a tool for growth. If you see conflict as negative, then you may have had a traumatic experience, or you've been in a dysfunctional environment that transformed into a lifestyle which predicated how you see conflict. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Series of events, conflict that occurred. So instead of me sticking staying in there and taking responsibility for me and the part that I played in the conflict. It's you. It's you. It had to be you. I don't do anything wrong. We call it's an Adamic tendency, which in layman's terms is called the blame game. It was you, it wasn't me. You get your life together. I'm perfect. Perfect. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why did I have that thought, cognition, or belief system? Is because I grew up in an environment where I was the only child. All the attention was placed upon me. And even if I did something wrong, there was limited accountability that I was held to. So that transposed into a counterproductive behavior or counterproductive thought pattern. I get an example because if you go into the new year the same and saying the New Year's resolutions, there's a possibility that you may not see what you desire to see if you're not willing to do the internal work. Just like a car that is dirty on the outside. And if it's dirty, you're gonna go to the car wash to wash it. But if you don't do any internal work, it's still dirty on it. It's still it's the same vehicle, but it's clean on the outside. But when we get it inside, we don't want to be in there. Or I could use the example of if we're not doing an oil change, which I need to do one, or a tune-up, we can have a clunker. We can have a car that's not running to its full capacity because we focus on the outside, but not focus on the inside. Moving forward, a new year without a new you is the same year with a different number. And we're gonna go into my brother, Mr. Shepherd. This video is amazing. I need to stop my share because I don't believe you're gonna be able to hear it like that. I'm gonna share my screen. And this is extremely important that we tap into this because this is a game changer. So let me set it up for us. This is what it really means to be all in. And as I stated before, if your new year is gonna look any different, and I'm saying this to myself, I'm including myself because I'm just teaching today, but I'm still including myself in this process. We're gonna have to be all in. Anything that we've held is gonna have to be, we're gonna have to give it up. Let's see what we got. Shout out to Shep Inspires. Go ahead and subscribe to the brother. What all in looks like. Yep, here we go. And I'm gonna check for sound on my
Monday.com,
computer
the
to make
opposite
sure that
of
we can hear it.
any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming names. They all suck.
Here we go.
What does it mean when you say I want to be great? That means I'm willing to do the dirty hard work in the dark. That means before the lights are on. That means before I'm getting paid to do it. That means before I'm getting interviewed. And enough of y'all watch YouTube interviews. You follow enough people on social media. You've watched enough documentaries to know I'm telling the truth, ain't I? No matter whose story you heard.
I'm gonna start over real quick.
Dark. That means before the lights are on. That means before I'm getting paid to do it. That means before I'm getting interviewed. And enough of y'all watch YouTube interviews. You follow enough people on social media. You've watched enough documentaries to know I'm telling the truth, ain't I? No matter whose story you heard about some form of them doing the dirty hard work in the dark. And if you all want to be great collectively, if you want to be great individually, I want you to recommit yourself. Or maybe for some of you, commit yourself for the very first time to doing the dirty hard work in the dark. If y'all gonna be great together, that means you gotta be willing to be coachable. That means you gotta be willing to be pushed. I explain that all the time. There's a difference between coaching and mentoring. See, a mentor pulls, a coach pushes. I'll say that again. A mentor pulls, a coach does what? Pushes. He's supposed to make you uncomfortable. Push you off your mark, push you out of your comfort zone, push you into greatness, push you into doing dirty, hard work. Where? In the dark. You get cold in the dark. You're going to run into some stuff. You're going to get bruised up, but you'll be better for it. And you should want to be coached. You should want to be pushed. You should want to be pushed into being the very best that you could be. So I want to change this glamorous idea. A lot of us, when we think greatness, we think about the finished product. We think about when they finally turned the lights on. And a lot of you, when you chose this university, you thought about wanting to be great here, but you were thinking about the finish line. You weren't thinking about the journey. You weren't thinking about the process. The what? Process. And so I want to challenge and encourage you as men, not just ball players, not just students, as men. I wanted to come here, stand flat-footed, look you eye in the eye and say, I need you to commit to doing the dirty, hard work in the dark. See, because a man is not defeated until he blames someone else. And I've told you before, it's only failure if you quit. It's only failure if you what? And I'm not just talking football. I'm not just talking fourth quarters. I'm not just talking workouts. I'm grateful, man. I get the opportunity to help men do life, to walk alongside brothers all around the world and help them be the absolute best that they could be. And I'm far tired of seeing way too many men quit short of their potential. Way too many programs quit short of what they could accomplish if they first were willing to dirty hard work in the dark, but secondly, understood that it's only failure if I quit, if I throw in the towel. And we live in a day and age where it's easier than ever for people to opt out. It's easier than ever for people to throw in the towel. It's easier than ever for someone to make an excuse. But if I want to be great, I've got to be willing to dirty what kind of work? Hard. What kind? Hard. It's hard. It's dirty. It's muddy. So many guys are weak mentally. And so they throw in the towel because they begin to wonder, what if? And what I want to challenge and encourage you to do, my first challenge to you was we're going to redefine greatness. And it's going to be dirty, hard work in the dark. Here's my second challenge to you. And anytime I see you while I'm here, or if I'm ever see you again in the future, here's my second challenge to you. I want you to change all of the what ifs to even ifs. I'll say it again. I want you to change all of your what ifs to what? Even if. That's the mindset shift I want you to have. Because that's what happens, right? We get anxiety, we get fear, and people throw in the towel because they begin to wonder, what if I don't make it? What if it don't work out like I want it to? What if I'm not a starter? What if things change? What if the situation changes? But you make up in your mind that, you know what? I'm leaving from the what ifs and I'm changing them all to even ifs. What does that even if mean? That means even if I'm not a starter, I'll keep grinding. Even if the game don't turn out like I want it to, I'll continue to stay committed. Even if the pipes burst, I'll show up and put the work in. Even if they don't call my name, I'll do the dirty hard work in the dark. So change your mindset from what ifs to what? Even if. That's the mindset, right? From now on, even if. So I'm not worried. I'm not struggling. I'm not getting anxious. I'm not letting my emotions overtake me because you know what? It's not about what if anymore. It's even if. I'm so committed. I'm 10 toes down. I need you to go all in. Y'all have heard that term before, right? We use it a lot in sports. I think it kind of originated with poker. You know what I mean? When people making bets and they understand I got a good hand, or either you bluffing or you say, you know what, I'm going what? All in. I want y'all to do that motion with me. Do it. Go. Some of y'all ain't have a lot of chips on the table. Come on now, y'all ever saw World Series of Poker? No, I'm talking about for real, like when you really got that work. Come on now, go all in, go ahead. Y'all saw all of y'all just leaned in a little bit when you went all in? And you got to think about it, right? Because it's a big risk. There's nothing holding back. I'm withholding nothing else. I'm going all in. And when I talk to y'all about going all in, man, that means a total alignment, right? Of your head, your mouth, your heart, and your feet. Y'all with me? Your head, your mouth, your heart, and your what? Feet. I want you to go all in. If you say, I came for whatever reason. We got, 120 reasons why we came, but we got one specific reason why we're staying, why we're leaning in, why we're willing to do the dirty hard work in the dark. We know it's only failure if you quit. We're committed to getting rid of the what ifs, so we're going to say even ifs. And here's the things that we have to have aligned: our head, our mouth, our heart, and our feet. Shep, explain real quick. Here we go. All in, my thoughts, right? My mindset. I got to be all in, fully committed, fully to being coached, fully willing to trust the process, trust what's going on here, and trust each other, right? All in with my what? Mouth. Some of you need to hear that. I ain't even been around here. I ain't walked the hallways. I got lost coming here just now. But I've been around too many programs to know some of you, your mouth is costing you. It's costing you culture around this building. And some of you need to get rid of that stinking thinking, and you need to get your language together and start speaking victoriously. You hear what I'm saying? So we got to get them all aligned, 4 things aligned. If I'm going all in, I got to get my mind, my head aligned, my mouth aligned. What was the third thing? My heart. My what? Why is it important? Because you understand with your head, but you believe in your what? Heart. That's probably the most important one. Your heart. You got to truly believe that we're here to do something special. If we allow ourselves to be coached and we trust the process and trust each other and keep putting in that work, and we change our what ifs into even ifs, and we align our mind and our mouth and our heart, we could do special things. But all 3 mean nothing if we don't connect our what? Feet. That's that action, boss. That's Marshawn, right? He said, I got to be about that action, boss. Ultimately, you got to put the work in. That's why I don't want to be in front of you for too long. I want to let you go ahead and continue that process. But that's what all in looks like. It's aligning your head, your mouth, your heart, and your feet. You are always building your own house. You hear me? Classroom, football field, life, choices. While you're here at this university and years after this, I want you to remember how you do anything is how you do everything. And so the way you approach life, I want you to stay committed, continue to lean into it, knowing that no matter what I choose to do, no matter what y'all got next on the agenda, remember that the way I approach it and the way I work in it is always going to be a reflection of the house that I'm building. You are always building your own house. I appreciate y'all.
I'm a doctor, and my passion is to alleviate arthritis pain.
Powerful stuff. Give you about 1 or 2 minutes to type your takeaways from that 7 minutes and 30 seconds, 39 seconds of fire. It was definitely powerful. What all in really looks like. What all in really looks like. I'm in the comment section typing business owners type. I'm putting I'm giving you opportunity to help assessing your business for the new year. Prepare for success in the new year. It is important. It is important that I'm making sure that did I type this right? Oh, it look weird. Okay, prepare for success in the new year. Check it out. It's important that this is what's called an analysis. So analysis is you watch a video, there's a series of questions that come after the video. One aspect about the analysis that's not shared in an academic circle is this. Whatever is highlighted to you is for you. What happens is that when we go through this analysis and evaluation and we ask questions and we talk about what resonated with us in these videos, what connected with us, what questions do we have, we don't go deeper with it. We attempt to answer it from an academic standpoint. from an abstract viewpoint to identify if we right or wrong. I don't care about that. My concern is that whatever you saw, how does that connect to where you are now? And what principle, what lack of understanding do you have that could stop you from achieving whatever long-term goal that you have, or what connected with you, what resonated with you that will help you or give you the fuel to propel you to move forward. So the connection when we assessing stuff is connections. Why videos are extremely important, and also entertainment. So for myself, whatever word is highlighted to me is the word that I need to connect an experience with, or maybe I like an experience. Then as a group, in a group setting, I can learn from you if you have that experience that I don't. We got about 10 minutes left for this session. The reset, preparing for success in the new year. This what was the highlights for me. This was the highlights for me. First word, commitment. The question is, what does commitment mean? Not an AI definition, not a Google definition, not a Merriam-Webster definition. What does commitment look like for Mr. Cage in a real life, personal and professional setting? What does commitment look like? Commitment looks like getting up and taking care of administrative business, even though I don't want to. It has to be done. I'm a very creative being. And as you all probably can relate, sometimes the creativity zaps the energy and the focus and the mental fortitude needed to get the business done. Tightening up the bolts, tightening up the screws to make sure that your foundation and infrastructure is on point. Commitment, that's what it looks like to me. Now, my question is, Cage, from a scale of 1 to 5, how committed are you to what you talk about when you refer to infrastructure? Ah, I was a 2, but I got to get to a 5 because that can be an area of weakness or improvement that needs to be addressed. Commitment, and I'm going to give you coaching. Question, preguntas. Who is coaching you? Real talk. If you're not being coached on a personal and professional level, you are at the mercy of your own thoughts. If you're not being consistently coached on a personal and professional level, you are at the mercy of your own thoughts. I was watching the Country Wayne skit, and I watch him primarily for entertainment. And in one of his skits, he said to a young lady, he said, your thoughts are the best they gonna be because of where they got you. That's in my paraphrase. I can't remember exactly how he said it, but he was basically inferring to her that the places you arrive are at right now are reflective of the best thoughts that you had. And I said, wow, even though it was a skit, that was a truth bomb. We gotta be coachable. I just came out of, from last year, I had a business coach for at least 5 to 6 months. We met on Zoom every Friday for an hour. And in those sessions, I was exhausted because she asked me so many questions. It made me think. It worked that muscle, but that muscle needed to be strengthened based on the question that she would ask me. It made me think about different objects or components, rather, of the business that I kind of glossed over. I'll give you one more for the sake of time. Or I'll give you two more. Turn your what ifs into even ifs. That is determination. So what if can be seen as a victim's mentality. Man, if I go and try to do something new, what if? Well, you don't know until you try. Man, even if this obstacle, this illusion stands in my way, I'm gonna get it done. No excuses. only results. And the last wisdom key, which to me was the most effective, or the most, yeah, I would say the most effective for us when we understand it to put in an application, is he said head, heart, mouth, feet. I want you to type that. I'm gonna put this in the comments. I'm gonna put this in the comments. Head is my thinking. Oh man, it did something I didn't want it to do. Yeah, head is my thinking. Okay. Head is my thinking. And then heart. In this context is my attention, my intentions. Mouth, speech, feet, action, or we can say lifestyle. All right. In the video, he talked about stinking thinking. You know what stinking thinking is? Thoughts that have expired. Stinking thinking. I'm gonna jot that down. Stinking thinking are thoughts that have expired. For my biblical people, when I thought as a child, I spoke as a child. When I became a man, mature, I put away childish things. I put them away. They didn't put me away. I put them away. You know what? I'm not on that anymore. I don't go that direction anymore because of maturation. So head, heart, mouth, and feet, thinking. Get rid of the stinking thinking by renewing your mind. Again, it's not as easy as we suppose, but there is, if you wanna really learn how to renew your mind, type renew in the comment section. I'm gonna type that. Uh, if you want to learn how to renew your mind, type renew. I need to give you this as we finish this out. Renewing your mind is not this, y'all. Renewing your mind is not this. It's not adding things to our belief system without changing the belief system. It's renewing your mind is not adding new thoughts to new, let's say, ideas, concepts, thoughts to the belief system without changing the belief system. That is called addition. A new belief system is an exchange. For example, this is this is my current belief system, and this is a future belief system. When a belief system changes, it's an exchange. So this belief system, I exchange it for this. Then I can take those thoughts that I had and they're going to get filtered through this belief system. So it's not that you lose beliefs. The beliefs, when they filter through a new belief system, they either get refined, purified, or they get discarded. For example, I love my parents. Shout out to them. Awesome people. some habitual behavior patterns that they had could have worked in 1983. But in 2025, as I matured on my evolution as a person who began to understand the true identity, there was many thoughts that got discarded because sometimes we don't know where these thoughts come from. We don't know where these belief systems come from. Some of these belief systems that we struggle with come from uncles, moms, dads, aunties, grandmothers who had an experience, and that experience produced an interpretation, which produces a belief system. And when your belief system changes, you filter out what thoughts, what behavior patterns, what cognitions are not relevant or updated to help you get to the next phase. Head, heart, mouth, speaking, and feet, lifestyle, or actions. Death and life is in the power of the what? Everybody knows it's tongue. To frame your world, you have to speak what your world is supposed to look like. And as you speak, your feet meet what you speak. You got to, as he said, as Shepard said in the video, got to be about that action, boss. But the major key is changing the stinking thinking. Again, stinking thinking are thoughts that have expired. They are no longer relevant for 2025. They could have been relevant, 2026. They could have been relevant for 2025 or 2024, 2023. These thoughts are no longer relevant. How do you know when a thought is not relevant? Problems arise consistently. And the problems arise because of a pattern of behavior that's there, connected to a thought that needs to be exchanged for a better thought. Let's see. Wrapping this up. The reset. Almost done. We done what we done. Thank you for being patient. We have done a lot of work today. We finishing strong. I'm gonna share my screen with you. Go past this. So as we wrap it up, let's talk about what the work that we've done. Let's talk about the work that we've done thus far. Hey, we've done the self-reflection. We've engaged in self-reflection to exercise. We've engaged in guided self-reflection exercise to identify our personal strengths and weaknesses and areas of growth and preparation for the new year. And we're in the process of learning how to formulate clear and achievable personal and professional goals. We're gonna go through the questions now. We in the process of doing the 4. The workshop will foster a positive and resilient mindset and encourage the participants to embrace change and view setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth. Any opportunity that is uncomfortable for us is an opportunity for us to learn and grow. We have to keep our emotions at bay because if our emotions are not managed, it takes away from the lesson. Because our human circuitry is one that's wired for survival. Any person, any thought, anything that can be perceived as a threat in a unhealthy soul or immature soul, mind, will, and emotions, or just say mindset, can be perceived as a threat. And so we want to do whatever we can to survive, which puts us in a position to make impulsive decisions. Because we want the feeling of being safe. So we hit number 4. So the question is this: are you all in or some in? Ask yourself that question honestly. Are you all in or are you some in? We cannot give our whole hearts when our past own parts of it? Are we in all areas of life, spiritually, mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, financially? Am I all in or am I some in? Am I all in this area, in this area, in this area, and some in this area? You got to answer that question honestly because God moves in honesty. He doesn't move in facades. He's like, oh, that person not ready. But when you ready, you come correct. You come with honesty. We must become inventory control specialists. When a company receives its product from a supplier, these products must be inspected to ensure that they are safe for distribution. Inventory control specialists often inspect products and take note of any damaged or potentially unusable products. They may send defective products back to the supplier or dispose of them according to company standards. Type this, please. Standards. 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 When I used to work at Menards, I started on the outside yard, forklifting, pulling loads, lumber, but eventually I became a dual citizen at outside yard and receiving. When we received products, we had to inspect the products to make sure that the products was not damaged. Then we had to scan them in. As an inventory control specialist of your life, we have to ask ourselves, what products come to me that's damaged? What products, in a metaphoric sense, thoughts? The question is this: how do I know? How do I know what's a damaged product? That's the question. How do I know? I'm gonna share it with you. I'm gonna give you the definition of damage first. Damage definition: inflict physical harm or something on something as to impair its value, usefulness, or normal function. So if you receive a thought that has produced dysfunctional norms or dysfunctional behavior, you know that that product is damaged. You know that product is damaged. For example, person said to you, somebody quote unquote made them mad and they cursed them out. That is a damaged product. You don't receive that. You can listen to it, but you don't connect with it. Because if you connect with it and absorb it, it becomes a part of your belief system. Then you gotta filter through that because it's primarily connected to emotions. But it's gonna be based on we taking an inventory now. Your ability to be a excellent inventory control specialist is going to be based on the standard, not a standard, but the standard that you have subscribed to for this life that you have been given. That's a hint. That's a hint for us. We talked about that already. So I want you to take time to respond to take time to ponder and respond to a few questions. And some of these questions may be a rehearsal, some may not be. I want you to think deeply in your heart, not in your intellect. Because we're not looking for right or wrong. We come into a place of honesty right now. You can jot down your responses or whatever you're accustomed to do when you record your thoughts. And then when you come from this session, have a conversation with someone that's close to you about the questions and commit yourself to being accountable for your responses. This is not a PSAT, SAT. This is a life. This is a LIFE. I don't want you to be smart. I want you to be honest. I don't want you to be standard or basic. I want you to be uniquely you. This is not about a New Year's resolution. This is a legacy piece. So as these questions come, I'm gonna touch on a few, but I want you to touch on all of them and really consider and think deeply. Not to answer the question right, because sometimes when people are in group settings, they so concerned about what people think concerning their response that they're not genuine with their thoughts and their responses. And to be straightforward with you, that is truly a waste of time. What is your why? For this year, 2026 and beyond, what is your expected end? Do you have one? Is your expected end vague or clear? A person with no goals will hit the target 100% of the time. So paraphrase from somebody else quote. Number three, are you willing to be coached to arrive at your expected end? Four, is your why strong enough to help you get to the expected end? Is your why or motivation external, internal, or eternal? Or is a combination of all three? External is outside, tangible stuff. Internal is morality, values, doing what's right or wrong. And eternal is purpose driven. That motivation comes from our creator, who is God. Is your motivation a combination of three, or are you externally motivated? If you're externally motivated, it's going to influence your decision making in a very negative, counterproductive manner. Because you make decisions primarily off of externals, it compromises your identity. It does. And some people are okay with compromising their identity because they don't truly know who they are or where their origin is. It's another hint, dropping little hints for you. Lastly, what resources do you need to arrive at your expected end? What resources do you need to arrive at your expected end? Many people, when they hear resource, they're going to think about financial capital. No, I'm thinking about intellectual capital. I'm thinking about human capital. I'm thinking about social capital. I'm thinking about emotional capital. I'm thinking about humans. Who in my network do I need to tap into that can help me get to my expected end? I want my expected end on a tangible aspect to look like this for 2026, but I know it's going to take me going and through the fire of growth and development to get to that expected end and be able to sustain it, but also advance it for the benefit of the next generation and the generation to come. That's a real conversation. That's real thought. But if you're not willing to be coachable, we'll be doomed to repeat history instead of learning from it. The people. That's it. We went over like 10 minutes, and that's totally okay. We knocked it out. This was the reset, man. The reset. Yeah, this was the reset. We hit all four. Now, number three, strategic planning. Participants will develop actionable strategies to implement their goals, ensuring they are equipped to tackle challenges and seize opportunities. You may walk away with some actionable strategies. You may, but if you need help, I put enough. I put enough in the comment section where you can get in contact with us if you do need help one on one. I prefer groups because it really helps me maximize my time. But in any event, if that's something that you're looking to get involved in from the life coaching aspect, because I am certified by organization, which I didn't mention. And I also didn't mention I have a degree in business administration, concentration, small business management, entrepreneurship. I'm not a person who's doing all these videos without being credentialed and certified from a legal standpoint, but also through life. So if you need help in those areas, whether it be personal growth and development, business, your kids may need to get involved in some potential, some youth development, violence prevention, whatever it may be, reach out to us. How can you get in contact with us? I would say you can either respond to the comment section in this video or just type whatever word to 773-599-1133. That's 773-599-1133. If you need youth development, I will type YD. If you need biz development, I would type BD. If you need personal growth and development, I would type PD. So youth development is YD, business development is BD, and then personal growth and development is PD. Thank you all. Blessings to your life. Thank you for being here, being attentive. Share this with somebody. Take notes. Take your time. Go through it. Highlight that shepherd's speech. 7 minutes and 39 seconds of power. Your 2026 will look different than 2025 if you are willing to go through the process of renewing your mind. Don't get it twisted. It has to be done. It must be done. It will be done. It can be done. But you can't do it alone. This is Mr. Cage, training and development specialist for potential, teaching kids to think before they do. Be great at what you do, but aim to be greater at who you are.